so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Honorable Chief Minister for presented the budget. At the very outset, I would like to thank you for giving me this privilege. I've been sending in this August House to fulfill the dreams and aspiration of the people, not only my constituency. I do hope we, as a responsible leader, we are also the same. So I will not dwell on many issues since the time is constrained. Only two issues which I would like to address through this budget general discussion. So one of the issues which had been a burning issue and also which had affected the general masses, people at large, in regards with the traffic congestion. So people in my constituency as well, the state, we are longing to see that this present government should have the courage to resolve the pertaining issue, as we all know, the Tham Luang Molong, which I believe that it lies in their hands. It's only can be implemented by the political will. If there is no political will, there will be no chances to do things correctly. And I believe we all agree that it is a shame on the state as a whole, especially in the last 5 years. Every matter subject had been intervened by the Honorable High Court. Why? There must be a reason. Because of the weak executive, that's why the legislature stepped in most of the time. We cannot bear anymore to see this thing happen in this present tenure. We should do our duties and responsibility righteously. So in dealing with the traffic congestion, we need to see the light of the day. This present government should do their job by relocate those legal settlers as well, the illegal settlers. They know how to deal with them. As it is very pathetic to see this condition, the resident out there, it has been misused by someone. There must be someone behind. It is really a pathetic condition to see. There's no health hazard, and there also a crime which taken place from time to time. And it is the need of the hour to see that these issues should resolve at once, without further delay, as delaying is a denial. As well, another problem arises with the bargaining of that route, which doesn't allow to ply freely. There's a need of the hour to resolve the issue of traffic in the whole city of Shillong. It should adopt a policy to make it assured by flow free, because we cannot do anything more than that, as we've seen that there's no more scope for expanding the road, nor come up with a new roads or link road or sub lane or by lane. There's no law and order problem creating in this area. Why so much fear? This is one of the issue. As one bird, as one stone may hit 2 birds or 3 birds or 4 birds. Like the same issues, I may recall the past government or the present government, they only brainwash in the eye of the people by adopting a policy to brainwash people by creating CNRD, by upgrading the civil subdivision, by creating district. Where's all proper development, infrastructure development, which I'm talking about? This all is happening only during election time. Why? Why infatuating the people? Why brainwash the people? There's no scope at all. There's no true infrastructure. We have heard from honorable members who had spelled out from Mao Sunam as well from Nong Stoi. Lots of, lack of facilities. This is the duty and responsibility of the government. The government, if they mean serious, if they mean business, they should constitute an expert team. Make involved by those consultants whom we had paid a high rate for them. Make good use of them. Let them not suck the cream of our beloved state. Another issue, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to address this House that please do not mislead people. We are not supposed to misleading people. We are here to fulfill their wish, their dreams, and their aspiration. While Honorable High Court passed an order to implement the roster system, at very first place, the allegation should be pointing hand to the last government, especially. There is numbers, but it has been defeated by number. At first place, they should challenge before the Honorable Court and justify the ground. Of course, Honorable Court had instructed the government to implement the roster system since the time of inception of a state. They never implement. The very first place, they should challenge before the court. They should justify the ground. Why? What's happening for the last 50 years? Why this roster system could not implement it? Why? Because number are stronger in using the word yes in compare with numbers. So at very first place, if it could be in my position, the very first demand to the government, to the cabinet, that they should place in public domain. Otherwise, I will leave the chair and go to the people and highlight the issues. And now, so to say, I don't know in English words how to translate it. Suri kups ni lang berat. Wolf covering?
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, wolf in sheep clothes. So I won't take much time. Our duty bound and responsibility is to address the issue. And also, before I resume my seat, so I would like that this issue of roster system, if the government means serious, because we are not here to allow any discrimination or to allow any such, to give space for creating communal. We are here to serve equally, so that we can see our beloved state should go higher and higher instead of coming down. So I will not take much of my time. Thank you so much for allowing me in taking part in this discussion, budget
Thank you.
generation.
But Charles, please. Honorable Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in the discussion on the general budget presented by the Honorable Chief Minister. I will get straight to the point. As being one of the last to speak, perhaps most of the topics have been covered, and if I may repeat one or two of those topics or subjects, you will kindly excuse me, sir. But let me first directly go to page 30, where it says, measuring happiness. Sir, there are many parameters which can be used to measure happiness, and therefore, I am glad that this government has taken upon itself to ensure that every citizen is happy. Going by that, sir, let me now come to the point where every person living in Shillong city and its suburbs, perhaps the state as a whole, is worried about the efforts that will be taken by this government to ease congestion in the city. The comprehensive reply given by the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister was indeed very heartening, and it showed the sincerity of this government to tackle the problem. And at the same time, when we went to page 19, it said, a blueprint to comprehensively address the issues of traffic is going to be implemented. And one of the problem-solving cases was the monorail. So I'll also like to speak about the iconic Shillong Peak Ropeway project of 141 crores. So we are in a situation where it is about necessity rather than luxury. Well, no, can't deny the fact that we need a ropeway, but at the same time also we need a skywalk or a sky train, which will traverse around the city to ease the traffic congestion. A lot of study has been done by different agencies also in the past, sir. And one conclusive study that has come out, I may stand corrected, is that the expansion of the roads in the city is going to be a very impossible task. And at the same time, to go underground will be a Herculean problem because of the cost involved. But the simplest, or not the, but the one that is used by many countries and cities in the world today is this monorail or overpass or overhead train. Perhaps if this government can give it a rethink and combine the two and try and get the resources to make a pilot project right from Nong Thmai Point, which is as you enter Shillong, to Lai Mukhra and to Pulirza. If this is done, I think we'll be going in the right direction where decongestion is being considered. That is one option which I would like to highlight here, although we have spoken about it during the question hour also. The second point is now, the government has acquired hundreds of acres of land in New Shillong Township, which covers most of the areas of Maudiang, Mopudang, Tin Ring, Dingboso, Mokunu, and all these areas. But the point is, the exit point from Shillong town to these areas is concentrated on two major places which comes under the Thormukha constituency, some from the Limekra constituency, and also the Nauthamai constituency. Therefore, the feeder roads from Shillong, Old Shillong to New Shillong has to be expanded. There are ways of means we have explored, but I will not spell it out here for the paucity of time, but perhaps prepare a small note. I would like to send it to the Department of Transport and Roads for its kind consideration as to how we can expand the existing roads that leads to New Shillong. Additional exit points towards New Shillong, which will benefit New Shillong in the long run also. That is about the traffic, sir. Then let us come to water supplies. Today the Honorable Minister is very kind to reply to a question raised by me about the Naungra water supply scheme. Now this is a very peculiar situation, sir. Under the JGM scheme, you will find every constituency and every member of this august house speaking about the water supply, where under the JGM scheme, the pipes were laid, but there was no water. But in my case, sir, we have spent 6 crores and we have enough water, but there are no pipes going to the houses. Luckily, the Honorable Minister has said that there is going to be a sanction of 18 crores that will provide water supply to all the households of Naungra. I will urge through you and the Chief Minister, sir, that this is taken in right earnest so that the water which is already there can be used or made available to the public and to the residents of Naungra. So this is one of my other things. Coming to sports, sir, I'm glad that the government has put a lot of emphasis on the development of sports so that the youth and the children of our state will have ample opportunity to harness the skills, God-given skills, in the area of sports. So the recently concluded Santosh Trophy that was held in Qatar or Saudi Arabia, I don't know exactly where, sir, there was a player even from Nauthamai by the name of Carlos Chalam, footballer, and there were many other players, sports personalities who have participated in tournaments all over the country and of the world also. What I'm trying to say, sir, if you want to build one of the state-of-the-art infrastructure for sports for the youth of Meghalaya, we must start from ground zero. I made this request 5 years ago in 2018 also, sir, on the floor of this house, that we have many playgrounds in and around Shillong city. Now, Shillong city being a concrete jungle, having a playground, it's more than a luxury. It's something unthinkable. Like in Limekra area, we have the Yoring Hep, or what we call the fire brigade ground. In Nauthamai, we have so many grounds. If some of these can be converted, but they are non-playable, because if it's raining, it's like a paddy field, and if it's dry, you get blown away by the dust. So to make this playable for the children who want to indulge in sports, and some of these playgrounds should be taken up and adopted by the sports authority and converted into good playing grounds where at least we have the artificial turf so that they can hone their skills and thus become sports persons in future years. This is one of my another request to the Honorable Chief Minister. We can consider these as pilot projects and then see the end result. This will go a long way in promoting our sports, where the Honorable Chief Minister has already earmarked a lot of funds for this project, sir. And then coming to power, sir, I was listening very carefully to the Honorable Member from Mogunro when he said on a phone call he got the electricity problem at Thangshalai village in Mogunro area electrified in a day. That's never happened in the history of the MECL in Meghalaya. So what I'm saying is, delivery of the MECL in providing electricity to the citizens of Meghalaya is very, very dismal. Not because of any other reason. The time that is taken to give an estimate for a transformer that is required in a village or a locality or an individual, it's so long that sometimes you forget that you need the electricity in the first place. So that time must be of the essence. How long does it take you to prepare an estimate? And then after the payment is made up 100% upfront, you still have to wait months. And you're lucky if you're a member of the house like Bante Lingdo, then you will get it fast. But anybody else will have a hell of a problem. So, sir, this, I request the Honorable Minister to kindly look into that. Because if you're going to measure happiness of the individuals, this has to be done in full earnest. So, I think it's time I remove my seat because a lot can be said, but there's no time. But one important factor which was mentioned in the budget speech was the expansion of the existing runway at Umroi. That's very good news, sir, because that will allow us to land larger jet-propelled aircraft, which means the distance which we can travel from Shillong to any part of the country, be it Delhi or Hyderabad or anywhere, will be possible. So that's a very good sign, news, because we were made to understand by the National Highway Authority, Airport Authority of India, but that was not going to be possible. But this is excellent news we get, sir, that the expansion of the runway will take place and a lot of larger aircrafts will then be able to land, sir. And then, sir, what else is there? Yes, sir, economy driven. I'm glad that we have in mind of making this economy of ours a 80,000 crore economy by 28 or a $10 billion economy. For that, we have to find out the avenues of how to generate that. I think someone else has mentioned it in the discussions today. I would request the Honorable Chief Minister to consider reopening or starting of the Land Customs Station at Dangar Balad, sir. If you look at the economy of that area, sir, right from areca nut to pan leaves, betel nut leaf, to broomstick, to tezpata, and other products agriculture, minor and major forest produce, including minor minerals, that is a major outlet, sir. So if that can be activated, it will serve, it will improve the entire economy of that area and also serve in generating revenue for our state, sir. So with these few words, sir, I thank you once again and the Honorable Chief Minister for his budget, and hopefully that all what has been here will fructify and we shall reap the benefits of a good budget. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.